protect people, I gotta start thinking outside the box.
Out of all the things you could have built, with that big brain of yours, why this?
Because I have to.
Might be a hero in there after all.
Okay, so me and Tracy will be doing a review of Riri Williams' Ironheart. This is a nice little follow-up from the events of the second Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
They introduced her character there, where she developed a device that can detect vibranium, and so there's a whole drama. Basically, they had the subplot or the main plot from Real Genius in that. Yeah, and then so now they basically building from the beat of that, where she goes back home. She can't take any of the good stuff from Wakanda, but she can just continue her life. But she's basically caught for what she was like, known for before making the device, in that, which is basically doing other people's homework for them, and she gonna get in trouble with that, and they build from there. And yeah, she kind of has to go back home, and just drama and shenanigans ensue. So yeah, with this they did 3 episodes and then 3 episodes. And for me personally, overall this wasn't half bad. I actually thought it was pretty good, and I was actually quite surprised at where they went with it at the ending. They finally did a big fan payoff with the ending, starring a certain somebody, Borat, and then.
That's Mr. Ali G. Thank you very much. Everybody remembers Borat, but it's Ali G.
Bruno himself, as they say. I thought this was okay. It started off okay, and then they got into the magic stuff. And like, okay, this actually gets more interesting. The girl who's the magician, I forget her name. She was like a TikToker.
Zelma, Reagan. Reagan.
I don't know who she was, but her face looked familiar. I was like, oh yeah, I know she from social media somewhere. It's like, okay, she got a little something. I thought, usually with the social media stuff, they'll push to the face that, hey, look, a star in Marvel, blah blah blah. But no, I didn't know that she would have been in this. So when she was in this, it was pretty good. But
it's actually kind of funny, like some of these people, like afterwards, it was all the different peoples were finally like showing up her pages and stuff on Twitter and that kind of stuff. So she ended up getting more of a following for her rap and all the other stuff because of her playing Zelma, which is the other way around usually. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I dug this. I thought it was pretty good. She had an interesting arc. The usual crowd because of the whole noise about it. But it didn't really. I usually didn't listen to that. I just dug it for what it was trying to do and say. In terms of her character work, and my only nitpick, as usual with this kind of stuff, is like, you think that somebody would sit down and try to police somebody flying around with a suit, right? But that's about it. But yeah, so like, we're Rhodey, right? You should show up and deal with this, right? But yeah,
not even Rhodey. Is that guy, that detective guy from Miss Marvel? Like,
right.
Whole department.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the department, but that department should be like, hey, something is weird. What's going on?
Right. So like, you have your suit flying about, you're not allowed to do that, blah blah blah. But yeah, I was enjoying the character stuff. The stuff involving the AI was interesting, like how it happened and why. That stuff was established from since Iron Man 3, and how you could read your mind and then it'll figure it out. Then for me, also was pretty good was the reveal of like what's his name? Solo himself.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich. I when they revealed who he was and what he was about, they're like, oh, okay, this is actually really interesting. That was a nice reveal, and where they went with that. And yeah, the third episode, and the third episode was strong. The stuff inside the robbery. Then they find out why what you call him, your boy doing what he's doing, and ultimately the end game, and then to find out where everything coming from and the origins of everything. I was like, all right, this is not half bad. It's still an interesting story. It potentially sets up something very interesting going forward, because now there's more magic shit going on, and we could see that leading into Doom stuff, Doctor Strange stuff. We don't know that, so she could become a major player, and at least a working subplot in some of that. And I like where I hope they don't just ignore all of this for like the meta stuff, because I know with Fantastic Four, for what I understand, hopefully Fantastic Four will kick off like a real proper arc going forward, and stuff will lead from there now. So we don't know what's going on with respect to that. But like I really really hope we get that. But I dug this. It's a solid arc. I enjoy all 6 episodes. It wasn't boring me or anything like that. And then the ending with Mephisto. That reveal is great. I would like that set up that
I,
conceit. I know people was having a meltdown since WandaVision to have this dude in, and yeah, he finally show
yeah,
up and
because
yeah,
you have people like Agatha walking around talking things, telling Wanda,
right,
the devil is in the details and all this kind of
right,
stuff, and everybody's like, oh my god, Mephisto. And then what? 2021 to 2025, you have
right,
no Mephisto. I
right.
love it. I love it.
But the magic stuff could square itself on its own because again, the Agatha like finding out who the boy was and
Mhm.
that boy he could be connected to this. So I hope they don't like one of the big problems with Marvel is that they have a too much redundancies in the plotting. No, try to
Yeah.
square this stuff and come and bring it together if they can make that work. And hopefully you'll get some of that. And I thought the ending of this was good. Like it's like a surprisingly like interesting ending from a character beaten. It's like, oh shit, that makes sense. Even though when they think about it, it's something that you don't expect. But it's like, no, this actually makes sense given what was on the line and why
I
she
have
did it. So like,
s- I have so many thoughts in terms of like the ideas of where it goes with that, and then like
right,
when you watch a couple of YouTubers talk about her decisions that she made, and I was like, but one, in a real life setting, we all make compromises because we want other things. Like there's a reason
yeah,
why she makes that compromise, but
yeah,
also
exactly,
you have to. I feel like you have to have an in. If without going into too many details, you have to have an in as to why other characters who will eventually show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Ghost Rider for crying out loud, why he would choose X, Y, and Z, and how
right,
Mephisto would play into it. So
right.
that was just brilliant. Like that works for
So
me.
yeah, here's another thing. Speaking of that, right? So kind of a hot take. I don't think they should do any of these solo stuff bringing it in. They should just straight up just do a Midnight Suns movie. Like look, what's his name?
Anthony
Mahershala Ali,
Ramos?
yeah, but
Yeah, oh,
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
they do a Blade movie
Blade.
straight. Yeah, just do a Blade movie straight. I know Blade is like the popular like franchise, but just straight up do a Midnight Suns movie, and from this, like take the magic stuff and start like funneling it into its own space now, right? Get Doctor Strange there or whoever, and just funnel all the magic stuff in one space and make it
Mhm.
work for what it is. But they don't need to do like a Blade and then take and take. Just straight up drop a Midnight Sun movie, makes a really solid script. And it's like how Thunderbolts, where they do the fake out with Thunderbolts, where
Yeah.
it's Thunderbolts and then oh shit, it's the Avengers. Like that's a good fake out. That catch you. Do it like
Mhm.
that. Do something like that, where we the story building up and then oh shit, it's a Midnight Suns movie or something like that. Like just get us there. You don't really need to do it. Just write a really good script and have them bounce off each other. Stop hyping ahead of time. Because that's what kind of what killing Marvel slowly, in my humble opinion. We'll see it
This is
with
a thing
Fantastic.
that annoys me with them. This
Yeah,
is a thing that annoys me with them. Like right now, I haven't seen anything with Jolo, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing her. I know I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I think it's
right,
not Jolo, but basically, America Ferrera.
right,
So
right, right,
you're
right, right.
not seeing anything with
Right.
America Ferrera in a hot minute, and she's supposed to be,
Very important
magic
character.
affiliated.
Yeah.
And that is a very important character. You have these characters that you introduce, and you have all these storylines that you introduce, and either it just drops and you don't hear from them for like years, or you do a thing where you're like how they did with Multiverse of Madness. You bring in Wanda, and you sort of undermine pretty much all the character arc that Wanda did and the growth that she had in WandaVision, just to say we're going to make her a villain. That that's going to be my qualm if they don't play these characters right, because
Right.
you have the ability right now to bring in. There was rumors talking about like Strange Academy. Now that
Right.
Zelma is here and her mother
Right.
know about
Right.
Kamar-Taj and all that kind of stuff, you can do that. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want it to be like 3 years later when everybody have to be like, do I have to go back and watch Ironheart? What is
Yeah.
this about?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
fast forward the thing and let's keep
Yeah.
moving.
Right. And to be fair, like
Yeah.
I know Ironheart was I think Ironheart get held back because of the strikes, right? The actor strikes or the writer
Yeah.
strikes or something like that. I forget which strikes it
Mhm.
was. So I know it
WGA,
had
and then yeah,
right.
all of that.
Right. So I know it had all that drama. So like whatever, they finally get it done. It to me come out good. I find special effects look fine. Stuff like that. It didn't feel sloppy or rushed or anything like that. Just like
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
it clearly was out for a while and still make it work. But yeah, I don't know. Like I thought this was a solid outing for what it was and what it was doing. A rating, I'll give it like a good 7 out of 10, probably a closer to 8. I just
Mhm.
was like, oh yeah, watch this. I enjoy it. like where it went, it was an interesting space. They could build from this. But as I said, if where they're going, well, we'll see at Fantastic Four and where Fantastic Four ends up and how strong that is. What I would say is that listen, I just gonna straight up say it. I think the multiple stuff not working, and they should just wrap that shit up as soon as possible. Wrap it up as soon as they
Yeah.
can. In fact, my hot take was that they should have wrap up. That should have never leave Endgame, in my humble opinion. But whatever, that's just me.
Oh.
Wrap up that multiple stuff, sort out the Doom stuff. Let's see where they're gonna go with it, and then like wrap up this magic stuff as well. Like just do some solid magic stuff for everybody. Put all of them in one space. Tell your own story. Don't waste your time trying to like rely on the Marvel brand and leverage your Marvel brand, because all you'll just get is like some of the shitty internet people who just make a big deal out of it, comparing it to that, and then you just have to tell your own story. Just tell your own story. Tell your own story. Push it out and then get the story done and then see from there. Yeah, I don't know. Like this was an okay space to end this off with, and they make it work for waiters, and I really want to see where they're gonna go with it. Rating, 8 out of 10. I thought this was solid.
For me, I'm going. I would give it. I'll tell you my ratings from now. This would get like an A- for me.
Right.
4 or 5. I had good fun with it. I will tell you the two problems that I had with Ironheart. One of them was not in the show. It was the marketing leading up to it, and I'm trying not to use a particular card and a particular way of vibing it, but the way how I've noticed certain projects that is coming out of Marvel, especially during this environment that we live in, where 2 weeks into the release of the show, before the red carpet starts and everything like that, and they had like one piece of promo with Ryan Coogler talking to the camera, and it took a while before thing. I was like, you show us that you have faith in the show. If you show you have faith in the show, then everybody else will feel like Marvel has faith in the show, and therefore I will do it. The show itself was for me, like, it was good fun. I will say, like, my standout characters for me is, strangely enough, Clown. I can't remember the actress name for that, but there's a character who's like into like bombs and that kind of stuff. Like, Clown, for me, I liked Clown. I enjoyed Zelma and her mother, Madeline Stanton, played by Cree Summers. And Cree, we all know, like, Cree is the voice of a whole generation.
Yeah, she's right.
So,
legend about legend.
Somebody made the joke that it's like Cree Summers seems to have a clause in her contract that she needs to have a big hat everywhere she goes, because. But I was like, I need to see more of Zelma and Madeline. I will say, like, when it came to the heist stuff, it was giving me more Italian Job, kind of something Italian Job meets Marvel, if that makes any kind of sense. Like, when they go to do the heists. So I was pretty much cool with that. The only other thing that I think could have been stronger, strangely enough, was Obadiah's Ezekiel Steen's arc. Because,
I thought he could come back. Like, he's one of those. The way they set that up is like, well, you could get more stuff going forward. But I don't know where they're going to go with him, to be honest. Because again, if and he didn't feel like he didn't feel like this was an end point for him. Because if this is it, then that'll be pretty bad. But like, as it is, it's like, oh no, we're going to see him in the future, hopefully. Because it's too big of an actor now. That's my thing now.
Exactly.
Like, exactly.
Like, I know that there's still in the background, there's the idea of Armor Wars, which ever so often it comes up, that whole thing there with Rhodey. And I could see
I heard because of I heard because of what call it, Secret War failed. I think this is kind of gonna get folded up. I'm not sure what's gonna happen there, because like that is something I was super excited for. But we'll see.
Yeah. I wait to see where that is concerned, but I agree with you in terms of if this is where they drop it, that would be real heights. But like Ezekiel's character, even the way how he ended it is like, I have all this tech and all this anger, nowhere to put it. He can either be a really big scene in terms of the TV screen, kind of something moving forward in Marvel Studios, Marvel Television, or he could just be there. We don't know. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will say I feel like Marvel played very well. Well done, Marvel Television, in terms of choosing to bring in Mephisto here, not in the TV shows that everybody expects, not in the things that people eventually went nuts over, but the little tiny, so-called tiny show that people was already review bombing without even seeing it. To say that you're going to set up someone as large in the darker magical universe of Marvel, to have him show up inside Ironheart, I think that was splendid. I do like Parker's backstory that they actually played as to like how Mephisto came and why Mephisto came to him and all that kind of stuff. That one was actually pretty cool. I look forward to seeing it. And again, I know they made some talk about, I think it was Feige himself or somebody was talking about the idea that the next stage of Marvel is going to be kind of like more dark. So you'll have more magic infused type things. In which
Right.
case, Ricardo, I'm very much here for a Midnight Suns. I'm very much
Yep.
here for a Strange Academy. I'm very much here to see because you have, and this is a slight spoiler for everyone else, but like you have a character who was born in Kamatage, and Madeline chose to leave Kamatage and come to Chicago and raise her daughter differently. I have this personal headcanon. I mean, it's not accurate, but I have this personal headcanon that because Daniel Drum in the MCU, who was the New York Sanctum holder, and then he
Right.
got killed by Caecilius, I have this headcanon that Daniel Drum is actually her father, but that ain't
Okay.
really.
Right.
That's neither here nor there. But the point is, you open up a door now that you can actually. She knows Doctor Strange. She knows Wong, and Wong is already that kind of guy who was in She-Hulk and all these other things.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
how to bring in these characters together. I want to see more of it. I also very much want to see how, if we get a season 2, how it would play. Like in terms of like now that she has chosen, because there were 2 deals that were made there. There's Riri and Mephisto, but there's
Right.
also Parker and Zelma. And I'm
Right.
very keen to see what becomes of that deal because, Zelma doesn't know that Parker is the hood. She just knows it's like, that's
Right.
going to be very much into something there. But all in all, this was a fun outing. And I know people don't always necessarily like to use the word fun. It either has to be pure mind or complete crap. But this was fun. And this was,
Yeah.
I feel like it could be a good progress. And I feel if they are in fact doing whatever version of Young Avengers that they want to do, we have Isaiah Bradley's grandson, we have
Right. Right. Right.
Kate Bishop, we have Billy and all these other people. There's nothing wrong in bringing in Riri and bringing in Zelma. In that, I'm very much keen to see where this plays out. So yes, A- for me. I'm very keen at it. I just hope, in closing, among other things, that the schedule for, let's say, if they get a season 2 or if they decide to do some other variation of it, the scheduling is better because I'm not really a big fan of like the 3-episode drop and then the 3-episode drop. Like that worked for Andor because we were all aflutter about it, but I wouldn't mind having an episodic 1 episode or at least 2 episodes drop and then one. Bring us back to the way how television should feel like. But yes, that's me. I love Ironheart. I think it's good. I wait to see more from Dominique and the rest of the group. I wait to see where this goes. Yeah,